We are the Governor's Office of Resiliency. We're one of the first programs, one of the first things that was established when Governor Hobbs became governor and back in 2022. And yeah, so we are very excited to. All right, let's introduce you to our team. So we are growing and it's very exciting because everyone has such an extensive and interesting background. So it's really an honor to see each other every day, work together every day. So we have Marin Mahoney, she is the director. We have Blaise Caudell, he is the deputy director and energy policy advisor. We have Julie Cruz, she is the transportation policy advisor. Patrick Adams, he's our water policy advisor. Will Green, land policy advisor. And then you met Gabriel, Ken, and then we have Robin, who is our grant writer. And then we have Anne, who is our executive assistant, who makes sure that everything is running smoothly with everything going on. So yeah. So the goal of our office is to build a resilient Arizona, right? To make sure that we have a sustainable future to look forward to, and that we're making sure that everyone is getting taken care of, right, in the state, right? So we live in different communities, we have different locations, and so we have to make sure that everything is working and making sure that everyone is being taken care of. So we work with climate adaptation and mitigation. We want to make sure that there are healthy forests, clean energy economy. So with workforce development, right, like getting people trained. And then we want to make sure that we have water security and that we have water way in the future, not just for the upcoming future, right, we have to make sure that we are taking everything into account and not just in Arizona, but regionally, right? So there's a lot of collaboration within the state and across the region. And then we also want to make sure that there is transportation accessibility. So considering our rural Arizonans, our tribal and community members. So we want to make sure that we have accessibility, we have the charging stations, right? So there's a lot of projects going on across the state as well beyond our office that is like also yeah, attaining these goals. So okay, and so then our office, so we our state energy office, but we also do natural resource policy. So we have our policy advisors, as you saw, and we also participate and collaborate with climate resiliency planning. So let's get into some of the programs that we have under development here in our office. So we have Solar for All, which I'll get into each of these programs on the following slides. But we have, Solar for All, Energy Efficiency Conservation Block Grant Programs. So for short, EECBG. So kind of has a rhythm to it. So yeah, helps you remember it. But so we have the Community Pollution Reduction Grants, CPRG. And then that'll be what Gabriel goes more into detail on. And then we have the home energy rebate programs, which is HOMES. So that stands for Home Owner Managing Energy Savings. And then here, home electrification and appliance rebates. So we'll have Ken get more into those details as well when we get to those slides. So a little bit about Solar for All is that it's 156 million that has been awarded or going to be awarded by the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, to the Office of Resiliency. This is for the following. It's to establish the Arizona Resilience Fund. So this helps with like grants or low interest loans on distributed residential solar installations. It's also for developing neighborhood solar. So for, to have community scale projects and to also make sure that we are prioritizing benefiting low income renters and multifamily buildings. And this can be done through bill credits. And it's also to launch the rural resilience plot. So to help out with that. And yeah, investing in workforce development so that we can help with the initiation of programs to train people. So the next one is the Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grants, EECBG. So the allocation for Arizona is a little over 2 million. And this is a formula and competitive grant program funded by the Department of Energy, Department of Energy's Office of State and Community Energy Programs. So this is designed to assist states, local governments, and tribes in implementing strategies for cutting carbon emissions, for improving energy efficiency, and also to reduce the amount of energy used so that it is not overworking, right? So I'll pass it over to Gabriel to talk about the CPRG.
Thanks, Cheryl. And if we could just go back real quickly to the ECBG slide, because I wanted to mention that I'm sure some of the people here from some municipalities may have received some direct funding through the ECBG program. And so what I wanted to mention is, if you haven't done so already, if you haven't sent your project to maybe Blaze, we would just love to hear what you intend on doing with these funds. And for those who haven't or who weren't eligible to receive direct allocation funding from the DOE, part of our budget, actually 60% of the 2 million has to be allotted as pass-through funding to other municipalities. So we'll be putting out an RFGA, which is a request for grant application, out pretty soon. And yeah, we invite you guys to stay in the loop and update and apply for some of that funding, because I think it'd be a great use of funds to deploy some of these energy efficiency and conservation programs in your municipalities. Next slide. Thanks, Farron. Okay, so I'm sure Lisa McNeely. I'll share my email in a little bit here in the chat. Happy to do so. Some of you folks may already be familiar with the CPRG program through some previous updates, or through your work with maybe some coalition applications. But on a high level, the CPRG program consisted of 3 million award funding funded to the state of Arizona for climate planning. What that included initially was creating our priority climate action plan, which we delivered to the EPA earlier this year in March of 2024. And from March to April, it was a quick sprint to put together some coalition applications, which we submitted in April 2024. Those grant awards were announced a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, none of the Arizona applications, including the couple applications that the Governor's Office of Resiliency was involved in, were not funded. Nonetheless, I think we put together amazing applications, throughout the state, and we're looking forward to, finding other funding sources, and hopefully through other grant programs that may come out in the near future, we'll find some of those. Some of the measures that we included in these applications, we also plan to expand on for our comprehensive climate action plan. That's a CCAP process, which we just began earlier in July. And yeah, that's kind of what we'll be focusing on the near future. Our CCAP process, like I mentioned previously, consists of expanding a lot of the measures, and expanding on creating measures and initiatives that can help us achieve substantial greenhouse gas reductions. We want this to be inclusive of all sectors of our economy. So we're currently we're working with a framework that involves leaders in the electricity sector, transportation, buildings, industry, and natural and working lands. And so we've begun that process through our team with ASU, in engaging with the leaders in these sectors. And then we've also proposed a framework of a couple of planning groups, specifically a workforce planning group and then a financing planning group. The workforce planning group has already done amazing work in putting together some resources related to workforce development and training that can help advance some of the measures that we put forward in our climate action plan. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and involving a lot of people. But we're excited because it's really the first time that something like this has happened to this level in the state. And so yeah, we're super excited, and that's pretty much where we're at now with climate pollution reduction grants. Thanks, Cheryl.
Thank you, Gabriel. Okay, and I will now pass it over to Ken so that he can get more in depth with the rebate programs. If Ken's available. Hmm. All right, well, I'll just, oh, there you go.
Well, oh, hold on. Got mine. Okay. Sorry
We
about that.
cannot hear you. Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
yes. A little
Hello? Okay.
muffled, but we hear you.
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me know if it gets annoying, and I'll take my headphones off. Uh, Basically, there's two programs here that we'll be running. First one is the homeowners managed energy savings program and homes program. Both of them between the homes and the home electrification program. It's $153 million between the two of them, about $76 million plus between both of them. Both programs are meant to serve, the aim is mostly to serve low to moderate income individuals within the state. However, the homes program is a little bit more robust as far as allowing individuals who are not low to moderate income, because it's kind of a formula that between the rebates and the income level of the individuals to determine how much rebate that they can receive. The homes is actually more of a whole home type of energy efficiency program. So it's I'm sorry, I'm playing with this morning already. It's agnostic in regards to exactly what it can do. So potentially, there is the possibility of having, windows replaced or something of that nature, which obviously typically most weatherization programs do not offer. So that possibility is there. The HERE program is actually a program that is specifically for low income and moderately income individuals. It's based on the AMI, or the area median income. That is how the savings are determined, as opposed to a weatherization program, which uses federal poverty level. And of course, obviously, the goal of the program is to have individuals be able to save money through electrification and through energy efficient appliances and building sites for things, I would say, such as air conditioning replacement, heat pump, hot water heater installations, insulation, things such as that. Is there another slide for me? Or is that pretty much it? Oh,
Here,
here's
yeah,
a
if you want to break this down.
yeah, this is kind of just a very high level timeline for the program. Started back in August of 2020 when President Biden signed into law, actually the IRA bill, but a part of that was the Homes in Here program. So in my world, he signed the Homes in Here into law, which is what I kind of got designated there. From there on, in September of 2023, Arizona had submitted both of the Homes and Here grant applications to DOE for approval. It's a very lengthy process in trying to get all that done. I came on board to the program back in November of last year. So just kind of nipped that process and drove the applications onto DOE and managed that. Of course, that's what November is myself coming on board from there. Once we kind of got things started and moving forward, we had two contractor roundtables. Maybe some of you heard about it, or maybe you participated by chance. The first one was here in Phoenix, and because of the popular response of it, we had another one in Tucson in March. Did the exact same thing, presentation, but just kind of catering to those individuals in the southeastern portion of the state. And the thing I always tell individuals is that this is a state program. I know when we get things like this and this type of large amounts of money, people tend to get nervous because they think it's a Maricopa County centric or even City of Phoenix centric program. This is not the case with this. This is state money for the northern part of the state, Flagstaff, Yuma, Tucson, and into even Stafford, Douglas, all parts throughout the entire state, and even all the tribal lands as well. Now, interesting thing just on the side tidbit is that all 22 recognized tribes here in the state have received their own allocation of monies. And this, I think it's about $30 million between all 22 tribes. Again, it was based mostly on the size of the tribe, but there were some other factors in there that were thrown into determining the amount of money that they get. But those dollars are specifically for the HERE program, or the electrification and appliance rebate program, and not homes. Individuals who live on tribal lands are eligible to also apply for either the HERE or the homes program through the state as well. So there's actually kind of, in a way, two funding sources for the tribal nations to be able to get to. Once we got past the contractor roundtables, July this year, finally, we have hired our program facilitator, which is Resource Innovation. Maybe some of you recognize, maybe you don't, but they used to be Nexus, which I kind of found out myself. Oh, okay, I don't know Nexus, and I knew that they disappeared, but they've shown back up as a Resource Innovation. So they've been very key to us in the past, just coming up on a month now, on the 8th of August, of just helping us get the program set, get the program developed, and moving forward. Based on that, we had a community roundtable event last month as well, which allowed us to be able to bring information about the program as opposed to the contracting network we did earlier this year. Now we're finally bringing it to the community-based organizations, other organizations, government agencies, and just letting them know the programs exist, telling them specifically how they work, the requirements, and all those types of things, and allow them to ask questions, make it dialogue back and forth. The process here now going out is that we have submitted our HERE application to the DOE. Homes application, which is a little bit more of a complex program, that one has kind of hit the back burner a little bit as they have decided that they wanted to concentrate on getting the HERE program because it's a little bit easier lift to get all the hoops of that. So the home program is kind of TBD. We're expecting both programs still are online though to open this fall. So we're still online, but not necessarily being more specific than that for details as far as when program opening will be, just because there's so many moving parts and working with the DOE and getting things on our end together, things we have to do to really put any framework on when the program will be open. Because I've already been getting emails from individuals saying, you said the program is going to be open back this earlier this spring, or whatever the case is. So we certainly want to make sure that these individuals aren't giving any false hope of when the program is going to be open. However, also the other thing is the full program approval, because once you submit the application to DOE, then you have to have approval of your program and how it's working, the inner workings of that. Once they give you approval of the program, and this is both for our homes and HERE again, then we can have our program launch. As I said, will be sometime this fall, early fall. So that's pretty much the timeline right now from bang the bullets as far as how everything's been going and what we're looking to be doing in the very near future.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate it. All right. So yeah, now we can open it up for Q&A if there's time. If not, you can email us. And yeah, we've shared our emails also in the chat, and then there's also the Resiliency general email. But yeah, we can open it up.